Are you busy? I mean, is your life really hectic? Like, do you sometimes feel like you're so far behind that you actually think that you're ahead? Do you often find yourself wishing that you had more hours in the day just so you can work on that things to do list? If your answer is yes, then let me ask you this. Do you neglect self-care? Now, if you do, you're probably thinking, what is all this foo-foo talk about self-care? You think that you don't have time for self-care or you don't have the luxury to do self-care. Well, I'm here to offer a counter argument because self-care is not just some luxury, it is essential. Self-care is essential not only to your mental and physical health, it is also essential for your happiness, and believe it or not, for the happiness of those around you. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should not neglect self-care. Keep watching. I'm Dr. Frita, and if you have not done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so you will be notified when I am doing YouTube Lives. That's when you can interact with me live and I will answer your medical questions in real time. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at dr.frita. At the end of this video, I have a freebie for you, so please be sure to stick around. What is self-care? Self-care is the act of taking care of your own well-being and prioritizing yourself by doing certain restorative activities which help you to maintain physical and mental health. Self-care is not just a luxury. In fact, according to the American Heart Association, self-care contributes to 40% of a patient's health. It's necessary. Now, with all of the media and the trending talks about self-care, it's gotten kind of distorted. People see hashtag self-care in front of grand fancy trips to skiing in the Aspens, or they might see hashtag self-care when somebody is popping bottles of champagne, or they might see a trip to Bali or something really luxurious like a spa trip that is in some exotic place, hashtag self-care. And that can start to make people think, I can't afford self-care. That's too much money. But self-care can be something as simple as sitting in the corner of your room and meditating, doing deep breathing for several minutes. And if self-care is something that you would like to do in the form of yoga, you don't have to join the fanciest yoga studio. You can simply get on your smartphone, download a yoga video, and you can sit somewhere in the corner of your house with your headscarf on and your old yoga pants. You can do a yoga activity that way, and it is still self-care. There are all kinds of attainable ways to do valuable self-care. The key is understanding the importance of self-care and why you should prioritize yourself. Self-care is essential for your health. Self-care is not selfish. So here are 5 reasons why you should not neglect your self-care. Number 1, neglecting self-care can make you sick. It can actually suppress your immune system. When you don't take time for yourself, then you can get stress hormones that are on the rise. These stress hormones, such as cortisol, can actually decrease your antibodies. Now, your antibodies are that part of the immune system which will fight germs. It will fight outside bacteria, fight viruses. But if you are stressed out and you're not doing self-care, then you may find yourself getting colds more easily or getting sick. And if you're sick, you most certainly cannot be productive. So you should not neglect your self-care because doing so can make you sick or give you a poor immune system. Number 2, neglecting self-care can decrease your productivity. Now, I know this may sound counterintuitive. You think that if you're doing more self-care and putting yourself first, then that may mean that you're not doing other things that need to be done. But this is actually opposite of true, because part of self-care is learning how to tell people no. It's learning how to say no. Because when you learn how to say no to things that overextend you, and you learn how to say yes to things that matter in your life and matter to your big goals, then you're able to more efficiently schedule your time to be productive. For example, if you say no to your sister, if she asks you to babysit every single weekend, that doesn't mean that you don't think that babysitting her kids is not important. It just means that you don't have the time to extend yourself to do it all the time. Learn how to say no sometimes to the usher board if they ask you to host the usher board luncheon every single month. This does not mean that you think that the usher board is not important. It just means that you're understanding that self-care is making time for the things that are absolutely essential in your life. And other people will figure things out. You'll be surprised. So learning how to tell people no is an essential part of self-care. And yes, if you neglect this self-care, you will decrease your productivity. If you're a person who has trouble telling people no, blame it on me. I have a t-shirt. It says, "My doctor told me to tell you no." I say it and I mean it because you need to promote self-care. Number 3, neglecting your self-care can shorten your life. It can kill you. That's no joke. If you neglect your self-care, then you are more likely than not going to be very stressed out. When you're stressed out and these high stress hormones come about, the cortisol, the adrenaline, you may increase your risk of having high blood pressure and heart disease. In fact, 15 million Americans have coronary artery disease, heart disease, and 78 million Americans have high blood pressure. Most certainly, these things are killers. The heart disease is the number one killer. So you must find time to have self-care, decrease your stress, make sure that that blood pressure is down, which will decrease your risk for heart attacks, strokes, kidney failure. If you neglect self-care, it can shorten your life. Number 4, when you neglect your self-care, it can make you unhappy. It can trigger a depression. If you are not doing self-care, it can actually suppress neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which have been linked to depression. These neurotransmitters have also been linked to the regulation of sleep, energy, sex drive. So if these things are altered, then surely it can trigger a depression. So please, another reason not to neglect self-care, it can trigger depression. Finally, reason number 5 why you should not neglect self-care, it can make you mean. If you're running around saying yes to this person, yes to that person, you're doing things for everyone else, putting everyone else ahead of yourself, then when you get home at the end of the day, you're exhausted, you have no energy, you have nothing left. At some point, you're going to become resentful, and that can give you a bad attitude. It can make you mean, and really people are not going to want to be around you. So if for no other reason, do not neglect your self-care, because it can make you mean and miserable. So what are some ways you can start doing self-care? If you're not quite ready to fly to Europe or to go on a super grand, expensive relaxation vacation, then you can start by just simplifying your schedule. Put things on your things to do list that make sense to you. Tell people no. Make sure you do some meditation. Take slow, deep breaths. Keep a gratitude list. Write down things that you're grateful for about yourself and about others. I told you I have a freebie for you, and I do. Click the link in my description to download the free PDF, 10 Healthy Habits for a Better You and a Better Life. This is my personal checklist on how I do self-care and how I really try to have a healthy and a happy life. It works for me. I look at it daily, and I hope you will do the same. I thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram at dr.frita. Again, remember to tell people no. You can also click the link in my description to order a shirt if you need it. My doctor told me to tell you no. I will see you next time, and do all you can to live your healthiest, happiest life and do self-care. I'm Dr. Frita.